Just here to bring you my latest little embellishment kit. So I've just got one to show you at the moment today, but I'm hopefully going to kind of get another one finished this week, but I'm not sure yet. So this one here, it's a an altered card, if you like. So basically I have coffee dyed a card, you know, a blank card that you would have made a greetings card from, and then obviously I've decorated it and made tuck spots and pockets and belly bands and things to hold the items. So I'll show you this item first. So basically on the front cover there is a long envelope which I've layered up some decoupage napkin image of the Eiffel Tower with some sheet music and some book page. And then I've just got some kind of lacy trim stuff here that I've formed a little bow. Put some gems down in the corner. There's some stamped images around. And then here I've just got just one layer from the Tim Holtz die of the tattered flowers. And then a true love stamped and embossed image there. And then a dice there. And then that's forming a pocket. So inside that pocket are your first kind of two items. So there is basically this first item which has been stitched on the sewing machine. You've got a layered up image here of this vintage lady and some lace down the side. And on the back I've just got some coffee stained paper there, just to kind of give you some journaling space. And this basically is what Amity Bloom describes as a floating pocket. So that's why I've put the coffee dyed paper on the back, so it is a floating pocket. But alternatively, if you didn't want it as a floating pocket, you could obviously have it as a fixed one. So just gluing it onto the page there, you could make it a double pocket by just gluing around the three sides, and then you'd obviously be able to slot things in both there into the actual pocket and behind it. Or you could obviously glue around the entire thing and just have kind of that one layer of pocket. Or you could obviously have it as a floating pocket, just clipped onto pages and move around the book. So that's the first item. The second item here is again a decoupage napkin image of this kind of corset here. It's been layered up with some book page and some greaseproof paper. It's got a paper doily and some sheet music there layered up. And then there's a large flower there that I've just distress inked and some lace at the bottom. And that's just on some coffee stain cardstock that I've just kind of glued it all onto and then distress inked around it. So this one, again, you could use this as a tag or a pocket or a tuck spot, you know, however kind of you wanted to use it really. I maybe would be inclined to use it as a tag, but equally I think it would work just as well as a pocket, again kind of glued around three of the sides. And then on the inside of the card there is a belly band here formed using this vintage lace, and then it's got this kind of tape measure from some scrapbook paper there going across. And inside there I've just created one of these button cards. So this is actually a free printable from the Graphics Fairy, I think it was, and I've just glued that and stitched that onto some buff coloured cardstock, and then I've stitched on these actual vintage buttons. These were gifted to me by a lady at work. So there's 6 of those on there. And then here on the facing page I've got a tuck spot at the bottom with some decoupage napkin, some more of those little fun dice. And then inside there's a little cluster, as per the kind of Jessica Rapp videos. This particular one, I've done layered up some scrapbook paper, a stamped image, a bit of sheet music and some lace trim there. And you could obviously, you know, stick that onto the page just here, or the whole lot, or, you know, however you wanted to use that really. And then here the sheet music is forming a little belly band where I've just enclosed a little machine stitched handmade envelope from some book page, and that's just got some lace trim as well. So that just tucks into there like that. There we go. And then here in this belly band there is another pull out item there. It's all been machine stitched. It's got some sheet music on some scrapbook paper and this vintage image of this gentleman here, and some lace trim across the top. So again, I would use this as a kind of pocket, maybe a top loading pocket this time. So I would just run some glue around 3 of the sides and leave the top bit open for tags like that. And then here, clipped onto the side with a bulb pin, there is a little bit of Hessian with some lace layered up onto it, and some of this beautiful ribbon and a little pearl, and that's all held together with a rusted safety pin. So again, that can just obviously be unclipped from here and then stuck onto your pages. I quite like those. And then on the back here of the card itself, there is a couple of different things. So we've got, again, another bulb pin here holding a little tiny tag here, and also a wooden embellishment where I've just covered that with some scrapbook paper and then a little word from a book saying happy. And that's just clipped on there with a bulb pin, so again can just be unclipped and used in your scrapbook pages. And then I've just got one of those wage envelopes, which I've been using really quite a lot lately, really enjoying using those, with a layered up image from a book and then some book page, some greaseproof paper, and I've stamped around on the edge. So that's just forming a pocket. I've layered it up with some lace down the bottom and one of these kind of lace appliques. And then here, tucked inside, as per the Jessica Wrap clusters that I was inspired by and have been doing, I've got a couple of little clusters. So this one here I would use as a kind of top tuck space. So it's basically just been layered up various different book pages and some sheet music, and then it's got a stamped image there cut out and stuck on there. It's got some lace trim at the top, and then I would literally just glue down there and stick it kind of on the top corner of a page, and then use that as a little tuck there for tags and things. So that's the first one. And then the next one here, very similar in that it's been, again, some book page, and that's been layered up with some sheet music and some lined paper there, and then a little buff coloured stamped image and another little hot air balloon image there, and some more lace trim. So again, I would stick this maybe at the bottom of the page as a little tuck spot and put things in there, or at the side as a tuck spot, or maybe even create a tag, if that was a tag, and just kind of stick it onto the tag. That would look really quite nice stuck like that, I think. So kind of quite versatile there. And obviously all of these images can all be cut off and the thing can be deconstructed. So you can use obviously this beautiful satin bow. You could obviously take this envelope off carefully, or you could just tear around it actually, and that would give you another layered up kind of image there. So, you know, you've got quite a few options there. And then also as part of the kit, there's this little Hessian bag that I've just made literally just by kind of gluing it down the sides. And on the top, you've got a handmade fabric flower, oops, just clipped on there with a bulb pin again, and that's just layered up lace, and it's got a little feather on there, and the back is just some felt, so it will kind of lay flat onto a page or onto a cover of a journal. And it's got a stick pin there and a large gem in the centre. And then in this little bag, I've just got some lace glued on again and a bit of pearl trim. And then inside here are kind of a few smaller items that I like to use on my pages. So if I can get them all out. They do have a habit of getting kind of stuck onto the Hessian, I'm afraid. So In here there is a little buff coloured butterfly, just a stamped image that I've just kind of fussy cut out. Then there's a stamped image of one of those ladies, love using those, and again a little bird. I love using these stamps, and you know, these feature a lot in my journals, so I thought they would be quite nice. They're just on some coffee stained cardstock. And then here I've just got a fabric image, and it's just got the word perfect there, and that's just been stitched onto this Hessian that I've then Mod Podged to kind of make it a little bit more robust and less, like, you know, less prone to fraying. And then I've just got 3 chipboard tiles here. One is a butterfly. These have been covered with scrapbook paper and distress inked and then stamped. So a butterfly, a little gramophone, and then this one here is of some birds, although my eyesight's not great today, so I can't actually see whether that's up the right way. I'm pretty sure it is. And then that one I've also glossy accented, so again they're quite nice to use on your pages. And then finally there is a little Tim Holtz rosettes that I've just kind of distress inked and obviously glued it together, and then made a little chipboard tile for the centre with a stamped image of a clock face. So that's all of the items that you would get there, and I will be listing obviously this all in my Etsy shop to kind of link with putting the video on. So I hope you liked it. Thanks very much for watching, and have a great day. Thanks then, bye.